UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer has condemned an Israeli strike targeting Hamas leadership in Qatar's capital city, saying, "They do nothing to secure the peace that the UK and so many of our allies are committed to." Starmer was addressing MPs in Parliament during the weekly session of Prime Minister's Questions on Wednesday. The Prime Minister added he would relay the UK's condemnation of the strikes to Israeli President Isaac Herzog when the pair meet later on Wednesday in London. Stressing that the UK remains committed to a two-state solution in the Middle East conflict, Starmer added, "I also will be clear that restrictions on aid must be lifted, the offensive in Gaza must stop and settlement building must cease." The Prime Minister also addressed the shooting down of Russian drones over Poland, calling the incident an unprecedented attack. Poland said Wednesday that it shot down multiple Russian drones that crossed its airspace overnight, including some launched from Belarus, in the most serious violation of NATO territory since Russia launched its full-scale war against Ukraine more than 3 years ago.
Mr. Speaker, turning to other events, I condemn the strikes that Israel carried out in Doha yesterday. They violate Qatar's sovereignty. They do nothing to secure the peace that the UK and so many of our allies are committed to. I spoke to the Emir of Qatar last night, soon after the attack, to convey our support and solidarity. He was crystal clear that notwithstanding the attacks, he would continue to work on a diplomatic solution to achieve a ceasefire and a two-state outcome. He and I are on the same mind on this, Mr. Speaker. That is why I met President Abbas on Monday and why I will meet President Herzog later on today. I will be absolutely clear that we condemn Israel's action. I will also be clear that restrictions on aid must be lifted, the offensive in Gaza must stop, and settlement building must cease. But, Mr. Speaker, however difficult, the UK will not walk away from a diplomatic solution. We will negotiate and we will strain every sinew, because that is the only way to get the hostages out, to get aid in, and to stop the killing.
Sick and tired of antisocial behaviour going untackled.
Mr. Speaker, last night Russia launched drones into Poland in an unprecedented attack. I've been in touch with the Polish Prime Minister this morning to make clear our support for Poland. We will stand firm in our support for Ukraine. With our partners and through our leadership of the coalition willing, we will continue to ramp up the pressure on Putin until there's a just and lasting peace.
A NATO country has just had to defend itself against Russian drones. Now, more than ever, we need our ambassador to Washington fully focused on this issue and liaising closely with America. Does the Prime Minister have full confidence in Peter Mandelson?
Mr. Speaker, let me start by saying the victims of Epstein are the forefront of our minds. He was a despicable criminal who committed the most heinous crimes and destroyed the lives of so many women and girls. The Ambassador has repeatedly expressed his deep regret for his association with him. He's right to do so. I have confidence in him, and he's playing an important role in the UK-US relationship.
But the victims of the paedophile Jeffrey Epstein have called for Lord Mandelson to be sacked. And just so the House is aware, in 2019, Jeffrey Epstein was convicted of child prostitution and sex trafficking that took place between 2002 and 2005. That is the precise period which Lord Mandelson called Jeffrey Epstein his best pal. Was the Prime Minister aware of this intimate relationship when he appointed Lord Mandelson to be our ambassador in Washington?
Mr. Speaker, as she and the House would expect, full due process was followed during this appointment, as it is with all ambassadors. The ambassador has repeatedly expressed his deep regret. He is right to do so. He's now playing an important part in the US-UK relationship.
As the Leader of the Opposition said, Lord Mandelson has admitted to continuing his relationship long after Epstein was convicted, and that there are more embarrassing details we don't yet know. Mr. Speaker, people will be surprised by the Prime Minister giving Ambassador Mandelson such strong support today. So can he tell the House, has the Prime Minister asked the Ambassador what other compromising material the Trump administration might have on him as he leads Britain's negotiations with the White House.
Well, Mr. Speaker, as I've made clear to the House, a full due process was gone through when the appointment was made.
Will the Prime Minister stop Israeli arms dealers from parading their Gaza-tested weapons on UK soil?
Mr. Speaker, we have very clear and strict rules in relation to this, and we have taken action in relation to arms sales.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
And our support for Ukraine, Mr. Speaker, remains unwavering. And the attack last night in Poland shows that Putin's belief that he can somehow act with impunity. And that's why we're working so hard with a coalition of the willing to ensure that there are security guarantees as we go forward, made real progress in recent weeks. We must continue to ramp up the pressure on Putin.
Terrible.
Mr. Speaker.
UK Defence Secretary John Healey condemned Russia's drones over Poland, reckless, unprecedented, and dangerous, in London on Wednesday. According to Associated Press, Poland said early Wednesday that multiple Russian drones entered and were shot down over its territory with help from NATO allies, describing the incident as an act of aggression carried out during a wave of Russian strikes on Ukraine. Several European leaders said they believed Russia was intentionally escalating the war, and NATO was discussing the incident in a meeting. It came 3 days after Russia's largest aerial attack on Ukraine since the war began, an attack that for the first time hit a key government building in Kiev. Healey leads the E5 group meeting to discuss the defense and security in Europe, with delegations from France, Germany, Italy, Poland, and the United Kingdom.
Last night, Putin took this aggression to a new level of hostility, a violation of Polish airspace, deep enough for Warsaw Airport to be closed, and NATO jets forced directly to shoot down Russian drones, while of course the attacks on Ukraine continue to intensify. Poland's direct defensive military action last night is the first of its kind since Putin launched his illegal invasion in 2022. Good morning. Russia's actions are reckless, unprecedented, and dangerous. We totally condemn these attacks. And we say to President Putin, your aggression only strengthens the unity between NATO nations. And we will discuss this morning what additional support we can provide to Poland. And we say to President Putin, your aggression only strengthens our solidarity to stand with Ukraine. It reminds us that a secure Europe needs a strong, sovereign Ukraine.